is Lucia Riker, widely known as the greatest female boxer of all time and often referred to as the female Tyson. In fact, Lucia dominated female boxing to such an extent that she left the game with an astounding record of 54 wins and 0 losses. With her repeated showings of dominance, Lucia grew bored of the competition and decided to try her luck against the average male fighter. I mean, why not? Being the greatest, undisputed female fighter of all time, surely an average male fighter would never stand a chance, right? Meet Somchai Jaidi. If you're looking to find ample information on this guy, good luck, because make no mistake, in the circuit of male fighters, he's average at best. So what happens when a man like Somchai goes up against the best female fighter in the world? We're about to find the answer to that question by hopping straight into the video. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out a lot. Now, let's jump straight into it.
Can the best female fighter defeat male fighters?
Yeah, she's the female boxer who was really the best in the world. Nobody wanted to fight Lucia Riker. She was sparring with guys. She was probably the best female boxer ever. And nobody knows who the hell she is.
Well, this is literally the best female fighter of all time. And she actually fought a man. She hit so hard that in a sports science show, her punches exceeded the force of a male fighter by 200 pounds. A seasoned trainer who got hit by her and another Olympic male boxer said he couldn't tell the difference. When tested against Houston Alexander, a light heavyweight MMA fighter, Lucia hit just as hard as him. Yes, this makes her one of the hardest hitting women of all time. But what happened when she fought against a man? Fight fans, welcome back to another episode of Striking Breakdowns. In this episode, we explore how the best female fighter was defeated by a male fighter. This special event took place when Lucia Riker already had 4 world titles in kickboxing. Training with the legendary Vos Gym from the Netherlands, her corner included the great Ernesto Hoost. By the time of this fight, Lucia ran out of kickboxing opponents and her trainer suggested it could be a good idea to fight a man. Her opponent was Somchai Jaidi, an amateur fighter in Australia. He had a total of 14 fights and was a local amateur champion. The first round was closely contested, but Somchai landed the cleaner power shots. He even knocked Lucia's head back with a big cross. The Thai also swept Lucia multiple times, once with a teep, another with a roundhouse, and then once inside the clinch. Somchai didn't look like he had better technique, but he was clearly faster and more powerful. Lucia was also able to sweep Somchai once, and for most of the round, she was the one pressing forward with aggression. Overall, Somchai covered the long range much more effectively than Lucia. This was important for him to be a sniper, allowing him to land clean shots without a response. It's obvious here that it wasn't the technique that made the difference, it was the power and speed. In the second round, it was clear that Lucia wanted to overwhelm her opponent and tried to steamroll him. She was able to put Somchai onto the ropes and start swinging. After landing several big punches, she had her opponent cornered. But that's when he started swinging back, landing a left and right hook with an uppercut that sealed the knockout. The fight was immediately called off and the trainer came in to cradle Lucia. It was a courageous showing by the best female fighter of all time. After this sanctioned exhibition fight, Lucia would go on to be trained by Freddie Roach and dominate the world of boxing. At one point, she was a superstar who received $1 million fight offer. When she retired, Lucia became a motivational speaker and a coach, at one point coaching Ronda Rousey for striking. As for her opponent Somchai, not much is known about him. Contrary to what many people speculate, Somchai was not Thailand trained. He moved from Thailand to Australia and New Zealand at a young age and learned his Muay Thai locally. What we do know is that he wasn't part of the Thailand fight circuit and would not fare well against top Muay Thai fighters. What are your thoughts about man versus woman in a sports competition? Do you think they should sanction matches between the two genders? Drop a comment below to share your thoughts.
It's primarily accepted across the world that men have physical advantages over women. Now, although for some reason that is accepted in our culture, the outcomes that come with that are not. and it doesn't make sense. And that's the purpose of this video, to show just how different, how big of an outcome those physical advantages can make. There is a reason why men make up the majority of blue collar jobs and also subsequently work more dangerous jobs that results in men having over 92% of workplace deaths. We're literally built to be in those positions, and although that might come with the short end of the stick on certain aspects, in something like sports, it makes the difference when it comes to competitive advantages. And that's why you don't see many sport activities where men are pit against women. And for those of you that are curious enough to look up the video, just the raw footage of them having their bout, you will see that Lucia had far better technique than Sumchai did. You got to remember, she was at the time, because she's retired now, the best female fighter on the planet. Sumchai, at best, was an average male kickboxer. He didn't even qualify for top tier circuits in his own country, let alone globally. But what got him the win was basic biology. And one of the craziest things about this entire scenario, it was a male trainer of Lucia that suggested that she should branch out and to fight a man. Now, it's too late to fire that guy because Lucia's retired, but what I at least hope is that she's not inviting him to the family cookout, because that is somebody that has zero interest in her health and her as a human being. He just saw money opportunity. And Lucia is a very wealthy woman because she did have an accomplished career and she stood at the very top of her respective sport. But it does not change the fact that men have so many different variables that make them more competitive than women on a physical aspect. And in something like combat sports, that could be deadly. Our bones are denser than women. Pound for pound, we're going to have more muscle and less fat, and that's just naturally. We're not even talking about the process of building additional muscle. On top of that, our cardio is going to be a little bit better when it comes to explosiveness, because we can get more oxygen into our lungs and into our body as a whole, what makes us more proficient. Hopefully, men versus women in combat sports doesn't become normalized in our culture. The last thing that I want to do is come home after a long day of work and turn on my TV and see some dude beating the living crap out of a woman. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video, but I am curious, is there anybody watching this video that truly believes that a professionally trained female fighter, it doesn't matter if it's boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, MMA, etc., do you believe that they have a solid chance of fighting their male equivalent that has put in like equal time, work, and discipline? I just want to know. But anyways, like I said, I'm gonna wrap this up and I got work to do. Peace.